Hey nerds, welcome to Jared Bear Reacts. Today we are going to react to the Originals cast reacts to the show's ending. This video is 3 minutes and 41 seconds long, posted by the TV Guide back on August 2018. Kind of like a last little bit of wrap up. I know I already did the season wrap up and the official show full wrap up and the rankings and everything. But let's go ahead and watch this too. It's kind of like a little wrap up before we get back to doing tributes and those sort of edit things here down the road. So yeah, let's see how they reacted to the show ending. If you guys are new here, feel free to subscribe for daily content. If there's a date, there's a reaction. Links will be in the description box down below for the Patreon, the Twitch stream, and everything in between. Jerry does his best work behind the scenes, and let's peep it out.
You think, well, how do you sum up the 5 years in a sort of, hey, we did it?
It's a great point. Cast
Knowing
reflects.
It's one of the last days of the Originals. I feel like emotional and
Claire Holt is gorgeous.
Really happy that I've had this experience. These guys are my family.
Being a part of the end of something
Oh,
that's
hi,
been
Hope.
going on for 5 years is definitely a little sad.
It's
He
a
is.
very weird whirlwind of emotion.
I love that
You
dinner
know, I'm
so
hoping
much.
I'll come out the end of it and I'll feel a sense of fulfillment and of peace of some sort.
We've had emotional moments at Comic-Con. We had emotional moments at our table read. It probably will be emotional when we all sit together. I'm getting emotional talking.
Yeah,
There's
fuck
a
yeah,
happy,
you
sad
are.
moment because we know we're finishing something. But we
I
also
swear,
know
him
we're
and
saying
Andrew
goodbye.
Garfield could be
I've heard
brothers.
floated around a few times is bittersweet, and I can understand that right now.
Vincent's so good.
One of my favorite episodes of all time is the episode where Rebecca said goodbye in season 1.
She is forever bound to this land, but not me.
But not me.
Any scenes with the whole family, I really enjoy.
Hi,
I
Freya.
just love it because I feel like we're all in it together.
Hope and Klaus have a really interesting relationship, and some of my favorite stuff has been working with that.
You two haven't changed a bit. Season 2, episode 3, it was that moment where I felt like I was finally having the opportunity to click with some of the other cast members. That was such a fun moment.
I love
The
that
scenes
for
we
him.
have as an entire family, which we've done a lot of this season, so much fun. I mean,
Except there was never a full scene in present time with the entire family, including Finn. I don't care about Michael and Esther. They're their parents. They died a long time ago. But Finn, man, if we just could have had a moment with Finn there, especially at that dinner scene, that dinner table, having Klaus, Elijah, having Marcel and Cole and Rebecca, and Freya, and having them all around the table, having Keelan, and then it would have been cool to have Davina there as well. And you have their family members. You can have people in the Jedi ghost forms, basically. It would have been cool to see Finn, to see Haley, because they were, at the end of the day, that was their family. It would have been cool to put in even more guest people for that moment as well. Having Finn and Haley there would have been nice. If you would have had maybe even something of Cammy watching along, because that was all of her friends. And then Josh, right, who just passed. Maybe you have Josh and Aiden there in like a spirit type form watching over this dinner behind Marcel. And you have Davina there next to Cole and Marcel. Obviously she's alive, but having them all together and then having the people that have passed away kind of in that afterlife spirit looking shot would have been tremendous to show that this is, you know, those people have found peace and they're happy for the people sitting here at dinner. And it just would have been really cool to see. That's just kind of what I wanted out of that last shot. Like, imagine having Haley there standing behind Hope and kind of smiling and laughing and looking at Elijah, and you know she's still waiting on the dance, and then you have the friends and everybody. I don't know, man. It just would have been a really, really sick scene.
we never get anything done because we can't stop talking and joking around, specifically Daniel.
Gentlemen, shall we?
I just enjoyed with people whenever I could.
I would be his best friend, 100%.
I derived insurmountable pleasure from making certain I was counter-creative at all times.
The moment where I guess I said goodbye to Davina to remind me of saying goodbye to something that my character loved, and today is
Aw.
symbolically the same thing as you say goodbye to something you love.
The most exciting
Aw.
stuff is the relationships within the family. Scenes with my brothers and my sisters, because I think, again, that's the core of the show.
Yes, yes, it is. That hug right there was beautiful.
never saw the show as anything but the end of days for the Michelsons. I always imagined that this was sort of like the chronicle of their conclusion.
I hope that people remember Rebecca Michelson as just a flawed but relatable and fun-loving character. I've just been so lucky to get the opportunity to play her, and she's really
That sounds pretty accurate.
badass and cool.
I guess what's interesting about when you think about the legacy of this show, you think about how people have grown up on it. You meet people that started watching it when they were, 14 years old, and now they're sort of moving into their 20s.
I once read somewhere that during different economic periods, certain
people that started watching
Oh shit, my bad. I know that Key would do that.
And now they're sort of moving into their 20s.
I once read somewhere that during different economic periods, certain shows resonate more. I have no idea what's going to be happening 30 years from now, but I really do hope that somehow we end up in somebody's term paper or thesis referencing something having to do with this period that we're living in.
I hope.
I love that. And I just realized the question said, what do you think of the show's legacy? Not what do you think of the show legacies, or what is like your expectations for it? I was like, that's a weird question to have thrown in there. So, okay.
That people have connected with the character. That would be my biggest thing. Even if it's just what not to do, how not to handle a situation, how you shouldn't behave at a family reunion, I think.
The best thing I can say
He's such a
about
sweetheart.
the show
Shut
and
up.
any kind of legacy I want it to represent is truly the power and the absurdity of family. The one takeaway from all this is
All right, Dominic
family
Toretto.
always and forever.
All right, listen, great. That's good stuff. As they say goodbye, man, I just love them all so much, and that finale is super emotional. Obviously, we cried like a baby, and we love Klaus, and we love Elijah, we love all the rest of the family as well, even Finn. And I still think at that dinner table, if we would have had everybody together, would have been beautiful. But I love that scene so much, and seeing Klaus laughing and happy, and you really in that moment you see Joseph Morgan rather than you see Klaus Michelson, which I think is pretty cool. And I think it's just it's one of those casts that, like they said, they truly are family. You're in a show that long. If you look at the cast like The Vampire Diaries, and you look at a cast like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, those are shows that were so big and everybody clicks so well together that those friendships carry on with you after the fact, rather than shows that may have ran a season or two or longer seasons, but it never really showed, you never really saw the chemistry that well between characters. And sometimes you just work with people to work with them, and other times you build long-lasting relationships. And I think that's pretty cool. And that's really kind of a wrap-up on the trailers, the wrap-ups, the shows, the season trailers, the bloopers, etc. I don't know if I just repeated myself or not. But yeah, that's kind of like a final cap there to all the stuff like this towards the originals. Obviously, we'll get into some more tributes and stuff down the road, as well as more Vampire Diaries stuff, and the reactions and the edits and the tributes that people have made over the years. And we'll check those out. And yeah, just as a reminder, all 92 episodes of the originals is on YouTube. All 171 episodes. Well, everything but the season 5 finale is on YouTube for the Vampire Diaries. Season 1, episode 1 of the Vampire Diaries, the pilot. Season 8, episode 16, I Was Feeling Epic, are free on Patreon. Season 1, episode 1 of the originals. Season 5, episode 13, When the Saints Come Marching Home. Those are all free on Patreon for you to watch the full unedited thing, the first and last of both shows. And on that note, I'm going to head out. I'll have links and everything in the description box down below. A playlist up on screen. As always, stay cute, stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.